I work with 3 money blocks with people, and it always whittles down to these 3. Money is bad, money is scarce, or money causes stress. And the money is bad one gets programmed like that when families say like, money doesn't matter.
Right.
All that matters is helping people. Money doesn't matter. It's, loving your family is more important. So you get the flip reverse belief of that is, oh my God, I'm a bad person if I want more money.
Yeah. That it's an either or proposition.
Exactly. Yeah.
And, and that and it's subconscious in the sense that I don't think they hated money.
No.
I don't think they were part of this dynamic.
Yeah.
That's what I think. I think whatever happened to me was my own interpretation.
Well, and it could be. And that's the interesting thing is that our parents and the people in our adult life, when we're being programmed, when we're ages 0 to 7, they're just teaching what they were taught. And they're on autopilot in their belief system too. So they're teaching moral lessons to justify where they're at.
Martians landed.
Yes.
Wearing Prada suits.
Yes.
Drinking Henry Seltzer.
Yes.
Chewing juicy fruit.
Yes, and?
Your branding here.
Yes, brand.
Your message here.
Yes, and?
A verse about
Yes.
your product here.
Yes.
I'm Hersh Redmond.
Yes, and?
I'm a message therapist.
Yes.
And I have a podcast.
Yes, brand.
That's right, that's it.
Yes.
We'll help you fix the world.
Yes.
Or your bottom line.
All right.
Your bottom line.
Get it. I get it. Welcome to the Yes Brand Podcast. Yes.
I'm doing my podcaster voice, and because I'm sitting at a podcast desk with a podcast mic in my nose, I feel like I have to give it my all. But I am here today with Dr. Amanda Barrientez. As I pronounce it correctly?
That works.
I don't know if I did. Barrientez?
Barrientez. There you go.
Dr. Amanda Barrientez is known as the money healer. And she's the founder of NFA Money, which is no fucking around money, and also the NFA Money Mama Mastermind. And I am just super excited to have her on the show on Yes Brand. I got to spend a little time with her this week, and I think we're going to have a lot of fun talking about her brand and what she brings to the hearts and minds of entrepreneurs, and particularly female entrepreneurs. So welcome, Dr. Amanda, to the show.
Thanks for having me here, Hersh. Psyched to be here. We're going to have a great conversation.
Well, let's start off with your 30-second, well, not even 30-second, your one-floor elevator pitch. Because a lot of people will have just a sentence that they say about themselves, and that really conveys who they are. But, whatever, if you had one floor to be with somebody and you wanted to tell them who you are, what would you say?
Oh, that is great. I love that. I would say, hey, have you ever struggled with money in your life?
Yes.
Well, I can help you with that. That's what I would say. But yeah, actually, I'm known for going from food stamps to building a 6-figure business fast. And I really love to help people get over the money mindset BS that's up here that's keeping them held back from breaking through to making money in easier ways and feeling really good about it. And it doesn't matter what level of income you're at, you have unconscious money blocks that are keeping you stuck and not feeling great. And so that's what I'm a genius at helping you with.
Okay, I can tell you, Amanda, that if you did give me that elevator pitch, we wouldn't get off that elevator. We would keep going. I would go back down to the first floor because the whole fear money mindset dynamic is something my listeners know I talk about it a lot. I explore it a lot. I've had personal experience in opening my mind up and not without effort, So before we talk about, you as a brand and NFA Money as a brand, explain the methodology a little bit.
Yeah.
And how you got into it and how it works.
Okay. For me, my entrepreneurial journey started with a lot of relationship and money struggles. So I left my 15-year marriage having an affair, and my next relationship wasn't working. And so I was on the basement floor crying one night, and I was scanning my life course, and I was like, what is the problem here? Like, who can I blame, basically?
Yeah.
And I realized I'm the problem. And so I had, it was the worst moment and the greatest moment, because at the same time of going I'm the problem, crap, what do? I also had the thought I got to do something to change. And so I didn't know where it was going to lead me, but I made the declaration to myself, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to have a great relationship and make more money. And it led me to podcasts because I was really busy. I had 3 kids. I was in grad school. I was, already had an extra job. I was on food stamps. and I was working hard. And so I didn't have a lot of time. So I started listening to a lot of podcasts. They were all done by coach type people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's this coaching thing? And at the same time that this was going on, my department had this national news fallout and professors were leaving our department and it was really stressful. And I was like, I don't want to be a professor anymore, which is what I thought I was going to do. And so I decided I'm going to take the leap and build a business and see what happens. And so I did that when I graduated and I went 6 figures in the first year. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And what I realized is that everybody struggles with mindset stuff. And so I really started working on my mindset and other people's mindsets. And I would watch these huge transformations really quickly with my 3-step process, which at the time I didn't know that's what I was doing. But I looked back and I went, oh, I have a 3-step process. So I call it the NFA Money Formula, and it's 3 steps. And it's very simple. It's recognize, reframe, and then repeat to reprogram. And so the hard part is that
recognize, reframe, and then repeat
to reprogram. Yeah.
So it's 4P. So it's
the repeat to reprogram is, yeah. Recognize, reframe, repeat to reprogram. And the crazy thing that I started to learn is that my whole business is aligned by Carl Jung's quote. And he says, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Mm-hmm. And I started to realize, our unconscious stuff is keeping us stuck. And so I started to play with people's money stories and I dug into mine, and everything in my life started to change, repairing relationships and changing my parenting and changing the way I taught, and my coaching business started growing, and now I'm happily married. And I looked at these things and I was like, oh, we're just programmed. We've got to unlearn our programming and then we can succeed in life. And so I use simple strategies to help people start to be able to feel like they have power and control in their lives. And that always leads to money magnetism.
Okay, because one of the things that I'm fascinated by is the programming, because I think that a lot of times not only do we not know how to reprogram ourselves, we have no idea what the programming really was.
Yeah.
It was so good or even so accidental or incidental that we don't even know. We can't say this happened to me, that happened to me. I hated this person, or this person was cruel, or if you're willing, I would like to do an experiment a little bit and have you try to ascertain something about what, it's funny because I like to play games with the guests, but at the same time, I feel like I would like to turn it over to you and let you kind of do your thing and let's see what happens.
Totally. Let's do it. Okay. Here's a fun one. So the recognize part is where people struggle the most. And it's just like you're saying, we don't really get that we've been programmed, because what happens is we're designed to be programmed because it makes us be able to function in life. It keeps us safe. I always say to people, your subconscious wants to keep you trapped in yesterday because that's where it's safe. Right? Your brain's whole job is to keep you safe. Yeah. And the way it keeps you safe is by trusting what's happened before and then building a whole operating system around that. And so in order to start to change it, you've got to recognize, what was I programmed with? And it's simpler than you would think. It's just asking yourself a lot of questions. And most people don't do that about money. They just go like, money's the way it is. They stress a lot about money, but they don't ever think like, how did I develop this?
Well, or they think I'm working as hard as I can.
Exactly.
I'm not lazy.
Yeah.
I'm working. I'm not stupid.
Yeah.
Why are other people having it so easy?
Yes.
Why does it come so easily? Or why do they know what I don't know?
Yeah.
What do they know?
Yeah. Yeah. So let's play with this for you. Recognizing. So, one thing I like to ask people is, if you could say your family's money mantra growing up, that obviously wasn't directly spoken to you, what would you say in one sentence is your family's money mantra?
I would say my family's money mantra was, money isn't more important than happiness.
Ah, okay. So what do you think that caused you to create in your adult life?
I think that it created a dual lesson and like a double-edged lesson. Mm-hmm. Because I felt very grateful that my parents hadn't put money over the time spent with their kids, or the value of money as material items being, emotional, or, all of those lessons seemed very healthy to me. But the other side was that even though I thought I wanted money, that's the thing. I don't think I grew up not caring about money. I cared very much. Yeah. I wanted us to have, a nicer car than we had. And when my parents did get a somewhat nicer car, I was all excited. I wanted to have what my friends had. You know, I wanted to be competitive with them, but somehow that lesson didn't.
Yeah.
That lesson didn't translate that far.
Yeah.
I didn't end up making money that important.
Yeah. Yeah. And this will be a vulnerable question, but do you feel like you have the money you want in your
No.
current life? Okay. Yeah. You can answer however you want. Yeah. You know, what comes to me really quickly is that when that happens, when our parents say, you know, happiness is more important than money isn't happiness, basically, is what they were teaching you, right? Like, be with your family first. So then if you have a desire to increase your wealth, there's also a split subconscious guilt, because you have in the back of your mind, wait, happiness doesn't equal money. And also I'm putting other people before money. I'm putting money before other people.
Right.
So you have this
I'm giving up.
Exactly.
I'm selling
You're
my
selling
soul,
out. You're selling
or I'm
out.
selling something unless someone gives it to you.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And I'm realizing that now as we're speaking. One of the reasons why I'm averse to negotiating financially is because that puts that guilt front and center. Whereas if someone says, oh, I'd like to give you this, I'd like to pay you this to do that, and I feel it should be more, I can maybe say something. Or if someone else tells them what it costs and they agree, and I don't have to be involved in it.
Yeah. So you have this subconscious belief somehow that money's bad. So I work with 3 money blocks with people, and it always whittles down to these 3. Money is bad, money is scarce, or money causes stress. And the money is bad one gets programmed like that when families say, like, you know, money doesn't matter. All that matters is helping people. Money doesn't matter. It's, you know, loving your family is more important. So you get the reverse belief of that is, oh my God, I'm a bad person if I want more money.
Yeah. That it's an either or proposition.
Exactly. Yeah.
And, you know, and it's subconscious in the sense that I don't think they hated money.
No.
I don't think they were part of this dynamic.
Yeah.
That's what I think. I think whatever happened to me was my own interpretation.
Well, and it could be. And that's the interesting thing, is that our parents and the people in our adult life, when we're being programmed, when we're ages 0 to 7, they're just teaching what they were taught. And they're on autopilot in their belief system too. So they're teaching moral lessons to justify where they're at. Mm-hmm. And sometimes that feels good for people and sometimes it doesn't. And so we carry that on as kids, and then we see it playing out in our adult lives. I'm so curious. Do you have a lot of people giving you money? And do I
have a lot of people that just throw money at me?
Well, I'm saying when you don't have to negotiate, like you figure out subconscious ways to get that to happen because that feels better to you.
No. I mean, I don't do I'm not manipulative when it comes to business.
Yeah.
I don't want to manipulate it. So what I'm learning to do is because I honestly feel I've made progress. I haven't yet achieved what I want to achieve. And I feel like I kind of have this late bloomer boost to my business that I have just been inspired to pursue, that I didn't even think during the pandemic that I was going to care. I started a nonprofit with a business partner. I started a purpose-driven streetwear company. I did things that were not going to make me any money, that were just, you know, things that I felt compelled. We both felt compelled to do.
Yeah.
So, but this turnaround happened inside me, and I just nurtured it and I worked on it. But I think what I'm trying to do now is figure out the value way in advance.
Yeah.
And don't go into those things as negotiations. Go into those things as you know the benefit of the benefit of what you're doing, and it's okay to say that you're worthy of selling your product.
Yes. I want to point something out to you that you said that's so powerful. Okay. You said, I asked you the question, you said, no, I'm not manipulative in these situations. So somewhere in your mind, you think it's manipulative.
I thought it was, right?
Yeah. So just pay attention to that. So those are the kind of things that we point out easily when I hear people's languaging around it. It's like, it's so obvious that you have a subconscious belief that freaks you out about negotiating because somewhere you're like, oh no, I'm going to be a bad person and people are going to think I'm a greedy jerk. And oh my God. And of course you're going to push money away if that's what you believe, because our subconscious won't let us become what we fear or hate. It's going to push that away.
Right. It'll protect us.
Exactly.
Protect us from the evil that.
Yes.
It's so kind of layered, and because how can it be a bad lesson to impart to your kids that being at their school play is more important than money?
Right. Yeah. It's confusing.
You know, why is that?
You're like, of course that seems true.
And then even when I say, so the good news is I went to all my kids' school plays wherever I could. And that even now I have those priorities aligned. So I don't have to worry about prioritizing my family.
Yeah.
It's that I don't even think I did it I don't think I prioritized my family over money.
Yeah.
I just think I didn't welcome the money that was probably ready to flow to me.
Right.
And
Well,
I
it's
just-
the mentality of both and. You could have both and instead of either or. So in your mind, it's the split. It's like either I hang out with my family and I pay a lot of attention to them, which means there's a deficit in my money, or I make a lot of money and I neglect my family. What's possible if you thought I could have both?
Right.
You know,
I have to take a yes and approach
exactly. Yeah.
to the money thing, which I think I think I am. And I think in a way, Yes Brand was designed to, often the people, you came to this profession by helping yourself.
Yeah.
And then seeing how valuable it was to you and how you wish you could share that and do that for someone, and how connected it is to money and all of that. And, my purpose on the show is to bring people in and talk about your brand and say, okay, well, how is your strategy working? And what can I tell you about, having a little perspective about your brand? And that's why I called it Yes Brand. I want people to have a positive vision of their own brand.
Yeah.
And yet I didn't realize I'm kind of trying to help them value their product, right? Or place of some value, or really, really emphasize the value.
Yeah.
And that's what I kind of was failing to do with myself.
Yeah.
My own.
Yeah.
Oh, you're good. Good, Amanda.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, since we mentioned strategy. Okay. So how old is the business?
2023 is my 5th year in business.
5th year in business.
Yeah.
Obviously a couple of crazy years in between. What have you found is the best strategy for awareness? Obviously podcasting,
Yeah.
and that comes up with it all the time.
Yeah.
It is really, really good. And it is really organic. And we get the time to
amazing.
to talk. You can't do that what we did in a commercial or on the side of a bus.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, and it's such a cool win-win-win, because it's like I get to hang out and share my gifts with you. You get to learn something, or it could be the other way around. And then the audience also benefits. And it's free. Like we give a free service to the world to get to know us. I think podcasting is, I have such a heart for podcasting. It completely saved my life.
Yeah. So where are you at now in terms of, you have your book, your book's a bestseller, and the title of your book is I'm a Money Magnet.
Yeah, I'm a
money magnet. Magnet?
Yeah.
I'm not a money maggot.
No, definitely not.
You're a money magnet. No, I am a money magnet. The top 30 money-making affirmantras. I like that. Affirmantras. By the way, Amanda's also really, really good with copy and with phraseology and stuff. So there's no showing off on this podcast with my, I know a good deal when I see it. So I'm going to take your deal.
I will say that has been one of the hardest, most fun things in my business. I love what you do, because to me, branding is everything.
Yeah.
Like I think one of the biggest lessons I've learned in the last 4 years of business is building a brand is a huge gift, and it allows for scalability. Because people, like, now I can sit down with you and it's like, it's taken me years to get good at copy. My brand and building NFA into what it is today, it's like, oh, thank God someone told me in the beginning to start being good at marketing.
Yeah.
Because it's made me able to scale my business. And now I go, like, I'm going in my 5th year and I'm like, okay, it's my 7-figure year, and I would have never been able to do that if I hadn't started immediately being consistent and learning everything I could about copy and branding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I couldn't agree more. And in fact, I'm going to start doing, when people would say, oh, well, so you're a brand storyteller, is a done for you service, you're essentially writing stuff for them. And it occurred to me recently that I should, in many ways, present this as a done with you service, because there's with the client, I'm not writing a thing. I'm not even giving them a form to fill out and then turning it into a story. They're telling me stuff and I'm hearing and listening to the story. And then hopefully together we're formulating the story, and I may write the words. And if I write every word, so what? The person who writes every word isn't the only person telling the story. I'm just helping to convey.
Yeah.
It's like
you're clearly articulating their message.
Yeah, I'm hearing
hard to do.
Yeah.
So you have a gift. It's amazing. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm supposed
Yeah.
to tell you that you have a gift. Not I was supposed to tell you, but I mean, I was supposed to acknowledge your
Yeah.
gift, which I did, which I really,
Yeah.
I really, really appreciated the first part of the conversation. That was really fun for me and kind of affirming for me.
Yeah.
Now, the thing is, you work a lot with female entrepreneurs, but you have worked with men and women both.
Yeah.
And as a coach to both men and women. So before we go, I want you to tell the audience, how you work, where to find you, what, just so they get a sense of what they can do if they want to reach out to you and avail themselves of what you do.
I have, with women, I have the Woman Entrepreneur podcast. So it's a great place. Obviously, you all here are listening to a podcast, so you're loving podcasts. So the Woman Entrepreneur podcast is a great place. I'd say for women, lots of men listen to it too. And my book, I'm a Money Magnet, this targets men and women, and it has 100 journaling questions to help you bring to your conscious awareness your money beliefs. And so really awesome book if you're looking to break through your unconscious money blocks.
Where is it available?
It's available on Amazon. And if you just go to IamAMoneyMagnetBook.com, you'll see a whole bunch of cool resources that I have there as well. My company is NFA Money. So go to NFAMoney.com and all my social media handles are NFA Money. And with guys, I do one-on-one. I speak in the world. I do workshops. I do retreats. I do all kinds of cool stuff with both men and women. So if you want to hang out with me and overcome your money blocks, I'm your gal.
All right.
If you liked the show,
Yes, and
it worked for you,
yes, then.
subscribe and leave a
Yes, friend.
5-star review.
Yes, friend.
Tell all your friends.
Yes, friend.
Get your branding here.
Yes, friend.
Get your branding here.
Yes, friend.
Did I make it clear?
Yes, friend.
Get your branding on
Yes.
before they're gone.